Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Ysn Power Hour, and it's brought to you thanks to our friends at Toyota of Warren. Thanks to Tino and the whole crew over there. Chuck slinging the cars, making sure you got something reliable to put your butt on and move on out to greener pastures when you need to, or if you're us, making sure that you can get to games each and every night here on the network. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is DJ Yoakley. It's such an honor to be with you. Hope everybody had a great Labor Day. Hope you got to enjoy the fair a little bit. If you're local, regional here to this area in Canfield, we got a great show for you. A lot of interviews for you. We're going to start off with Jason Leonard of Westminster College, the athletic director, who sat down with me last week to have a quick conversation. And obviously, with Friday being what Friday is, didn't have a chance to put it up on this show. So you're going to hear from Jason Leonard, who is in his third or fourth year, started in 2021 at Westminster, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And got to highlight him because of all the things that we're doing through our partnership with YSN and Westminster College. So looking forward to that interview. We also have Bob Camardo stopped by Athletics this morning, had a chance to talk to him about all the things that are coming up for the Curbstone coaches. So you're not going to want to miss that. Also have Drew Zajac from McDonald, the outstanding running back and multi-sport athlete from the Blue Devils. And we also, who else do we have? Nick Berardino over from Canfield. Have him as well. So a great show, jam-packed show for you. We're going to start with Jason Leonard, Westminster, and we'll conclude after with our Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark presented by Joe Dickey, as we always do. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, a very special Coach's Corner, a Westminster edition. After the announcement yesterday that YSN and Westminster College will be teaming up to simulcast the majority of Westminster College's athletic events, we wanted to have, well, I guess the OG, another Westminster graduate and the athletic director of Westminster College, Mr. Jason Leonard, joins us. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing great, DJ. Certainly yesterday was a great announcement. Super excited about the partnership moving forward with you. And I tell our student athletes, anytime that we can partner with an alum on any venture, to me, it's just an added bonus. So the fact that we're able to partner with you and increase the exposure of our brand makes it even more exciting. So it's a good day, and happy to be here with you today.
Oh, I'm happy that you're here, man. Happy that we finally got everything, the T's crossed, the I's dotted. Of course, that's both of those in Westminster, so it makes sense. But it's one of those situations where we wanted to make sure that it made sense for everybody involved. For Westminster, you're getting a brighter light to shine across Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania. For us, we're getting more content, and a lot of our kids are already over there. They've graduated from high school. They're headed to Westminster for reasons that you and I both know very intimately. But for this partnership to work, I think one of the biggest things, and we've talked about it at length, is that it is a 50-50 partnership, and it is a win-win situation. For you, what stood out when we first started talking about the opportunities with YSN and Westminster?
Certainly you, like I said, your commitment to YSN and really what you've done to build your programming and so forth. And, I think anytime that I partner with anybody, it has to be a mutual benefit for both sides, like you just mentioned. And the fact that this was something that you were interested in, and I know that you were going to work hard at it, and it was going to be beneficial for us as well. I think that's what interested me the most. There's a genuine concern and interest on your end to making sure that the product that we produce, what we air, the content that we have on your site is really genuine and beneficial for our student athletes and the college, and certainly helping your venture as well. So that's really what interested me and piqued my interest the most, was really partnering with someone who cared truly about what was going to happen to Westminster and how it was going to benefit us.
Now, you're a guy that graduated from Westminster. There's a lot of pride there. And that was one of the early conversations that we had, is the fact that you have such an appreciation for what these student athletes go through. Obviously, you're the lead dog, the CEO of the Westminster Athletic Department, as far as I'm concerned. For you to have that and to be an alum, how much pride goes into it for you? I mean, can you even put that into words as to to what it means to wear the blue and white every day?
Yeah, I've shared this with a lot of folks that I've talked to. I've been fortunate to work at 4 different schools, and this job here has been the most rewarding of the different places that I worked. And I say that because of the relationships that I have with the student athletes. When you work in athletics, it's really not that different when you go down to the core of what we do. And so the other places that I've worked might have been bigger. They might have had larger budgets, larger stadiums. But at the core of it, my job is to make sure that our student athletes have wonderful experiences. And what I mean by that is that they have an experience at Westminster that if there's time after they leave that they're able to give back and get re-engaged, that they want to do it because they enjoyed their time here. And so for me to be in this role is special because I get to work with so many wonderful student athletes. I get to know them personally. I get to watch them compete, watch them practice. And so it's a very rewarding position to be in. And I'm thankful that every day I get to get up and come to work here and enjoy every moment of it.
When you were at Westminster as a student, was it a goal of yours to come back and eventually be an administrator someday?
I actually never thought it would happen. I really didn't. My career took me to a lot of different places. We went, as far out west as Illinois, and it was a case where my predecessors were all here a really long time, right? And so you never know when an opportunity is going to open up. And so when Coach Daffler announced his retirement, I immediately got a handful of phone calls from coaches that coached me when I was here and said, "Hey, Coach Daffler's retiring. Is it anything that you'd be interested in?" And I said, "Well, of course. My wife and I are initially from Western Pennsylvania. And so the chance to come home, to return to your alma mater, was certainly intriguing. And so it was certainly something that I didn't plan on. But, in this job, you never know what's going to happen. And the timing just worked out. And here we are starting year 4. So it's amazing how fast it's gone.
Take us through a day in the life of a college athletic director, because we know what high school athletic directors have to go through. College, obviously, you take that to the next level. You're wearing a lot of hats. You're doing a lot of things, obviously trying to grow programs, trying to make sure GPAs are in check, and you guys have standout opportunities for your student athletes. For you, what's a day in the life like, and why does it keep you coming back day after day after day?
The one thing I love most about working in athletics is it's different every day. There's very little routine. The only thing that's routine about it is that you come to work in a given day and you think you have a plan, and it typically doesn't go that way. I spend a lot of time with coaches, talking with them about their programs and working through issues. Typically, we'll go around and check our facilities to make sure that they're where I want them to be. They're looking the way I want them to look. Certainly spend time on academics, dealing with eligibility for our student athletes. Spend time fundraising, getting out on the road and visiting with donors. And so it's just one of those jobs that it's just has so many different components to it that it's exciting every day, and it never gets old. It never gets stale. And it just keeps you on your toes every day. And when you walk in, you never know if the building is falling down and you got to figure out how to hold it up, or we've just won the conference championship and you're going to celebrate with a coach and with a team. So it's very rewarding. It's very unpredictable at times, but I think that's part of what makes it so exciting, is that you come to work sometimes and you just don't know what the day has in store for you.
As an athletic director, you understand the value of competition, but understanding that your every day is a competition to get kids, student athletes, parents on your campus to see just how beautiful it is. Talk to me about your, I guess, plan for that. Obviously YSN's a part of that now, but what plans do you have, and how do you get people on campus? Because most people look at Westminster College and they go, okay, where's New Wilmington? And then they look it up and they see just a bunch of Amish buggies rolling around. And once they actually get on campus, it's a different kind of special. So can you take me through that?
Sure. Our coaches do an unbelievable job of recruiting. And they work really hard to get young men and women to visit our campus. What I've tried to do in my first 3 years here is really try to bring as many high school events that we can here to expose the college to folks that maybe wouldn't come here for whatever reason. We were talking about it before we started the show. We're actually hosting a high school football game this evening. We hosted some softball championships the last couple of years. And so I think that the hardest part, number one, is to get them to come here. But then when they come here, how do you treat them? What do you show them? How do our facilities look? What's that first impression they're going to get? And so my job is to make sure that our coaches have the tools that they can recruit the student athletes to come here. But when they come here, we give them all the reasons as to why they want to select Westminster. So what do our facilities look like? Are they clean? Do we have logos on them? Do they look like that we've taken care of them? And what do our locker rooms look like? Are they clean when they come here? I'm very big on appearance. And so we spend a lot of time working on the little details of things, because I think when you're coming to a place for the first time, your first impression is important. And so when our folks come on campus and when I hear them talk about how beautiful our facilities are and how wonderful our lobby looks and how clean it is and how well we take care of things, I think those are the important things. And then when we get them here and I have a chance to visit with them, I love to brag about the college. And my background that you see behind me right now is there for a reason. I have my jersey on the wall and it's next to my diplomas because I talk a lot about Westminster being a do both school. And what do I mean by that is, a lot of schools that are recruiting against us, they may be strong academically and maybe don't have the athletic success that we've had, or the other way around. When you come to Westminster, you get to do both. You get to play sports. You get to play for teams that have a long, rich tradition of success, and then you get a really wonderful degree. And so you're not compromising one over the other. And so when parents will come in my office with recruits, the thing they see on my wall is that you can play sports and you can get your degree, and you don't have to sacrifice one over the other to be successful. So we have a lot of wonderful things to sell when they come here. We just got to do the things that are required to get them here so we can showcase all the things that we're very proud of.
Well said, my friend. That's awesome. I mean, it's perfect because, once you get there, you realize, but you've got to put the work in the classroom. And you certainly, if you want to play a sport at the next level, you've got to put the work in there as well, because it's not high school athletics anymore. You're not just going to get there because your mom or dad or your bloodline necessarily. You're going to have to put the work in and fight for those PAC championships. As we know, the hallways are full of those now. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, it's college sports are very different than when I was in school a long time ago. And our young men and women now are practicing and competing year round. The teams that are not in season, they're spring sports, they're in the middle of their non-traditional seasons. And so 5 minutes before I was jumping on this call, I was out on the softball field with our folks, making sure the softball field was prepped and ready for practice, because now they're going to practice even though their season doesn't start in the spring. So, people think that you play sports at a small college and that you don't spend as much time as you do at a big time school. That's not the case. We put in the time, we practice just as hard. Are things different? Of course they are. But our young men and women are practicing year round. And so it's just different. And so the commitment that they have to their sport, to their academics is unbelievable. And it is different than high school. You have to go to class, you have to keep your grades up, because if you don't, you can't participate. And so I'm really proud of our young men and women and how hard they work. And it's certainly a big commitment, much bigger of a commitment than it was when I went to school here.
I'm in the same boat, dude. I want to give you a few minutes to talk about you mentioned the commitment that you have to all your athletic teams. I saw that the gym was just renovated. It looks beautiful. The natatorium as well, I believe, is being renovated as well. How much goes into? When you get kids on the campus, yes, it's an older college, right? It was based in the 1800s. Is when it started. It was founded. But to you, you started in 2021. When you came in, did you have a checklist of things that you wanted to renovate and update? And how is that list kind of materializing now?
Sure. So, my first day on the job, I remember getting in a golf cart and driving around campus with our director of facilities. And I have a keen eye for things that I would like to see the way they look. And when you come into a new role, it's going to take some time to make changes, right? Because you're not going to come in and make sweeping changes to everything right away. And certainly we have limited resources here. So we have wonderful facilities to begin with. When I got here, we had just opened the UPMC soccer lacrosse field. We just opened up a brand new baseball field, a brand new softball field, and the field house was spectacular. The two facilities that may have been the most tired facilities that we had, our gym and our natatorium, just got renovated this year. And so a lot of what I did initially was a lot of cosmetic work, and it was really kind of just fixing some things that maybe just hadn't been kept up the way they should have been, and they looked unsightly. And I think that when you have facilities and you don't have 1,000 of them, then you need to take care of the ones that you have. So we did some things in the gym before we were able to get the gym completely renovated with some painting, some signage, some new chairs, some scores tables. We took we painted the press box at football and made that more appealing. And we did some things on campus just to dress up some things that people, when they came here, would notice. And once again, when you come here on game day and you look at our facilities, I want people to go, wow, those are really well kept. They're really well done. They all look in uniform. And so you don't have a different font over here or a different color of blue over here. And so those are some things that we took care of right away. Now, moving forward, we certainly have some larger projects that are on our list. We need press boxes at the 3 new fields that we just talked about. And so we're actively pursuing a fundraising campaign to put a press box down at the baseball field, but we also need one at softball, and we also need one at soccer lacrosse. And then we really need to look at our locker room space. Right now, we're really tight with locker rooms. We don't have dedicated locker rooms to all of our teams. I want to make that happen. And so you're always trying to look for ways to improve, always trying to give our coach the advantage on, if you're recruiting a young male or female, what is going to make Westminster different than the other schools that we're recruiting against. And that's my job, to make sure that those coaches have those things in place.
I'll tell you what, it's been incredible to walk around campus now. I mean, we had the volleyball game, our all-star volleyball game at Westminster last year, thanks to you and Tammy. So thank you for that. But I'm excited to see it, because new bleachers that, I think are the first time that we've had new bleachers since probably the gym was installed.
Just so you know, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Sure.
the gym floor and the bleachers that we just replaced were original to the building.
Oh my God.
And they were installed in 1951.
Oh my goodness.
1951. So they were 73 years old, and this is the first time they've been replaced. So the gym looks phenomenal. I'm biased. I think we have the nicest gym in the conference at this point. But yeah, those things that need to be done, right? Because the young men and women that come here, that's what they look at now. They look at the facilities. They look at locker rooms. What kind of gear am I going to get?
Yep.
They buy with their eyes, and so we have to show them those things that when they come here, and know that you're also going to get a fabulous degree.
I'll tell you what, you take a lot of pride in wearing that dub on your chest, and we appreciate it. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that take a lot of pride in you back home. Talk to me about family life for you. How challenging is it when you're constantly on the road? Everybody thinks that sports is a great job to have, and it is, but it takes a toll because you're working different hours than everybody else.
Yeah, DJ, I've been doing this now for 30 years. This is my 31st year of working in athletics, and you certainly have to find ways to balance family and balance the job. And you learn right away that it's not easy. We don't work 9 to 5. We don't work Monday through Friday. Just to give you an idea. So tonight, we'll be here till 10 o'clock with the high school game. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to catch the football scrimmage down at West Liberty University. And then I'll be back here for the 2 soccer games that we have in the afternoon. And then Sunday, we have a freshman social for all of our first years. And so it's sometimes it's 7 days a week, and you just have to find time to make it for your family. And the beautiful thing about working in this profession is my family has been able to come with me to a lot of things. They come to a lot of our events. I've been blessed to take my kids to Hawaii for the Maui Invitational, We've been to the Fiesta Bowl for football. So my kids have had wonderful experiences. Has dad not been there as much as maybe some other dads? Yeah, for sure, because that's the nature of my business. But we've been able to make it work. And right now my kids I have one kid that's out of school. She's a teacher in Illinois. My other two are still in college, on the tail end of their college career. And so it's a challenging profession at times, but you've got to find ways to spend time with your family, because that's what this is all about. And so we've been able to make it work, and we're blessed to have three wonderful children.
Jason, you did an awesome job. I'm so excited to start working with you. I'm so happy everything got finalized, and I'm really excited for everybody to see not only Westminster and the talent that you have on those fields and in the classrooms, in the broadcasting booth, and everywhere on that campus, but certainly to have YSN be kind of in the Westminster presence as well. Thank you so much for everything. Congratulations on all your success.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's folks like you that certainly make this job even more fulfilling. I think that there's so many Westminster alums out there that are doing great things, and anytime that I can spend time with them, partner with them, provide opportunities for our current student athletes to take advantage of those partnerships, that's what I love doing. And so I'm very excited about our partnership. I really am. I'm very excited about creating more exposure for our current student athletes, helping prospective student athletes learn more about Westminster, and quite frankly, working with you. I know that you have a very strong vested interest in making this work, and I can't thank you enough for the partnership, and certainly looking forward to what this first year has in store for us.
You got it. Jason Leonard, Westminster College Athletic Director. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DJ.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Player profile time here from Coca's Pizza. We are here with the Canfield Cardinal, and it is Nick Barandino, the senior wide receiver cornerback, number 22 in your programs, but number 1 in your heart. Nick, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. You don't have to serve me. Come on, man. I'm not that old. I might not have hair, but I'm not that old. But I appreciate it. Talk to me about, this is senior year for you. I know it just started, but how quickly has it happened? From freshman year on, now you're a senior. Walk me through that.
It was a blink of an eye. Our varsity program starts at sophomore year, and our freshmen stay down. But honestly, I feel like sophomore year was yesterday. It's been ridiculous. And now that we're going into week 2, the week has just flown by. I feel like our game against West Branch was yesterday too. So
wow, I hear you're pretty well educated. So let's talk about learning. How quickly did you learn to the work ethic side of things to be a Cardinal?
I probably learned it pretty quickly. I had good people to learn it from. There was a lot of good role models to make sure that everyone gets it.
Who was it? Who were those role models?
Brock, Santino, Coca, Danny Inglis, those guys.
Coach said that your dad's a pretty good dude too. He knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah.
We'll get to him later.
Okay.
For you, to be a Canfield Cardinal, to wear that Cardinal on the side of your head and wear that C, what does it mean to you?
It means representing everyone who will wear it in the future and who already has worn it, and making sure you do the right things, you play hard, and you leave no doubt.
Who was your idol? Were you a little kid looking up at Canfield Cardinals and saying, I want to be just like this guy?
I would say it was more my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know a lot of the older players.
That's fair. What was it about your dad that made him your role model?
He was pretty good at football, and he's my dad. I love him a lot, and I think he's a very good man, and he's wise and smart, and I want to be just like him, I guess.
Well, I've heard you're incredibly smart. One of the top in your class. Is that correct?
Maybe.
You're up there. To be a receiver, to be a corner, right? That's a very dynamic position, because you can go hungry or you can eat happy every single night. Just depends on kind of the coverage and your quarterback.
Yeah.
For you, what kind of connection do you have with the other receivers, with the quarterback, with the skill positions that you've kind of transformed into this leader on the team?
I think we've all just developed amazing chemistry together. We've been working over the summer, almost every Saturday, just throwing. And plus I've known everyone for really all my life. Enzo's a good family friend of mine, so I go on vacation with him and stuff. And I don't know, like just the football team, like we just like hang out with each other and stuff like that. So it builds chemistry.
Team locker room, walk me through who is the funniest guy in that locker room.
Funniest guy, I would say Sean Bowling, MJ Pompoko, or Michael Toth.
Okay. Who is the guy that you cannot break? He is an absolute statue of stone. And he's all business all the time.
Ezra Stahl.
Okay.
Yeah.
You knew that one right off the jump.
I did.
Who is the motivation guy? Who's the motivator? If you guys need the raw speech, who's the guy singing it?
I don't know. It comes from really everyone. I
Okay.
think everyone will have something to say and will step up when they need to say it.
Where is your role? Everybody has a role in leadership on this team. What is your role, and how did that come to be?
My role, I'd say I like to lead by example, I'd say, but I'll say a few words of encouragement here and there. I got into this role. I think I don't know, just happened naturally. You know, like the leaders on the last year's team graduated. I just gotta step in and do what the team needs.
Leaders lead, man.
Yeah.
Leaders lead. You're a leader. All right, let's talk about what's the one song that gets you amped up, ready to play?
Fuel by Metallica.
Wow, okay, Metallica.
Yeah.
You're digging that old school stuff. All right.
Yes.
What is a song that you would play in your car that as soon as you're around the school or somewhere where somebody can hear it, you immediately turn it down?
Oh gosh. Probably like a Rihanna song.
There we go.
Yeah.
See, not too big of a man to say, hey, I can listen to what I want. She got some good jams.
Yeah, no, she's pretty good.
What is one board game that you actually enjoy?
I'd say like Monopoly or Clue. I like those.
Wow. Like Monopoly can go on for days.
I know.
Are you pretty good?
I'm all right.
What's the icon? What's the thing that you use the most?
I like the hat.
You're the hat guy?
That's my go-to.
Okay,
yeah.
the hat's your go-to. If you guys are kicking it on a Saturday night, let's say, you and your friends, what are you doing?
Probably just going to like someone's patio, starting up the fire, and just hanging out with some music.
Music and cutting it up?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, let's talk about role models. Let's talk about the people that have put you in this position, where you are right now to be such a good young man.
Thank you.
Who are those people? And shout them out, and why are they so important to you?
It's my mom, my dad, and my grandparents. My dad has been the best male role model I could ever ask for. He's wise. It feels like he knows everything. So whenever I'm in trouble, I'll just go to him, and he'll say the right thing. And my mom, my mom is incredible. I think she's the best ever. I know everyone says that, but my mom is the best.
Who, and your grandparents, I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, no, it's fine. My grandparents are just they're just the nicest people in the world. And so when I was growing up, when I was little, I hung around with them a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I caught some of their kindness, I think.
Oh, that's
I
good.
learned it from them.
You got that old soul. I can appreciate that.
Thank you.
Who is the cook in your family?
The cook? Probably my grandma.
Grandma?
Yeah, her birthday cake that she makes is out of this world. It's
What
best.
kind of birthday cake is it?
It's just chocolate with vanilla frosting, but it's just incredible.
Because it's made with
so
love.
Good. Yeah, of
it's
course.
made with
Yes,
love.
yes.
I appreciate it. Nick, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you,
Appreciate
thank
Best
you.
of luck this season.
Thank you.
It is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Hard to believe, but Catching the Curb, brought to you by the Curbstone Coaches, is back, and it's week one. And certainly we enjoy speaking every month or so with our favorite, Mr. Bob Camardo. Welcome to the studio once again, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I hope you had a nice summer.
I did have a nice summer. It does go by fast, but here we are again, like you said, ready to roll.
We're ready to roll. Year 2 here for the official podcast for us, and we're looking forward to this year. Bigger and better, kind of the mantra. So what can people expect, in the early going when they're thinking about catching the curb?
Well, first I want to mention that I'm celebrating the world champion Celtics with my hat on.
Congratulations
Since the last time
once
I saw
again.
you.
Congratulations on all your success. We're
18,
proud of you.
18 world titles, which is technically 5 more than the Los Angeles Fakers, because they had 4 or 5 when they were in Minneapolis. That's another story for another day. But we're ready to roll. Our first luncheon is going to be next Monday, the 9th of September. We've got a little different twist on that day. Normally our first luncheon is with YSU AD Ron Strollo, and we present him a check for the YSU Foundation, where we do one of our donations. But Ron is not available next week, so Dana Ballish, who's a great friend of Curbstone and obviously a friend of yours,
Yep.
Has decided that what we should do, and he's going to MC it, is we're going to have the deans of each county's high school football coaches show up, and we'll talk high school football next Monday, which is something we don't do a lot, and I think it's going to be a good thing. We've got Bob Spate, the coach of Columbiana,
Okay.
who I heard is quite a card. I have never met him, but
Oh my goodness,
I heard
you're
he's a
in for a
piece of work.
treat.
Dan Williams from McDonald,
Awesome, coach.
and Sean Guerrero from Springfield, who I have met a few times, former YSU football player. So we're really looking forward to that this coming Monday.
No, that's going to be fantastic. That's a great twist. I mean, you're talking about 3 coaches that have a ton of experience in this area, can tell you all kinds of history from that standpoint. So kudos to you. Kudos to Dana for pulling that together. But certainly, well, you talked about, let's start here. You talked about a check. And presenting YSU with a check, which you guys normally do, but you guys have been writing checks all over the place, and that's one of the things that people don't understand. The money that is raised for Curbstone, that's what it's for.
Right.
Can you kind of go into detail on some of the places that you guys have, showed your philanthropy?
Absolutely. The banquet that we have is our only fundraiser there, our Hall of Fame banquet, which is always the first Sunday in May. And you were there, obviously, this past May, and with Dan Yeagley, and the money that we raise there. I mean, we have to keep some in our kitty for incidentals and stuff like that. But we donate money to charities all across the valley. And let me give you a brief rundown of where we've done. We donate money to the YSU Foundation. We have a Curbstone Coaches Endowed Scholarship there that we give money to every year. We gave money to Thumbprints and Challenger Baseball, which is for mentally challenged young people, both of those organizations. Hospice of the Valley. I had a brother-in-law that passed away from brain cancer a number of years ago, and I have never been more impressed with a group of people than I was with Hospice. They just treated him and our family tremendous, so that's always a good place to donate money. The Rescue Mission, Sight for All, which is some optometrists. Is that the right word, optometrists?
Mm-hmm.
Giving out glasses and eye exams to underprivileged people. The United Way, Bob Hannon is a friend of Curbstone. He MCs our banquet every year. He comes and speaks to us. We gave them some money. The Ulster Project, which is groups of young people to come over from Ireland and stay at people's homes. Special Olympics, which is what should be all about,
right?
Athletics for people that need the help, and that's just a small grouping of people that we give money to every year. So when you, and I mean you personally, but when anybody goes to the banquet and pays the $60 banquet ticket, it's like, well, that's $60. That money is going to good causes. Plus you're getting a meal. Plus you're getting to see people get inducted in the Hall of Fame. So. It's really a worthwhile thing. I mean, we don't have much, like I said, that we do for fundraising other than our banquet. And our banquet next year, since we'll maybe lead into that.
Go right into it,
is on Sunday, May 4th of 2025. And our speaker, it's already been announced, the local media did the release on it, is former Oklahoma and Cleveland Browns running back Greg Pruitt. So our class will be announced in sometime in late November. And we're looking forward to our banquet chairman, Tom Miller, who does a fantastic job, is already planning.
So I guess that begs the question, if somebody wants to get involved and potentially nominate a Hall of Famer, how do they do that?
On our website, which is thecurbstonecoaches.org, there'll be information for that there. And there's also a Facebook page that we have where you could get in touch with somebody and let us know.
Now, one of the things that I learned last year is if you nominate somebody and they get through, you have some duties to uphold,
right.
And that's selling tickets and getting and filling tables, things of that nature. That's important for a multitude of reasons, because you don't want someone to be nominated and be into the Hall of Fame and have nobody there to represent them, right?
Exactly. That, first of all, it's embarrassing. And second of all, again, that's our only fundraiser. So we need the people that, not like last year, you nominated Dan Yeagley, and that was a shoe-in, obviously. And, you want Dan's friends and family there. You want people to put ads in we have a great program book that comes out for the banquet, and you need to do that for the person that you nominated. It's work. It's a lot of work, but again, in the end, it's for a good cause.
No, I love it. We'll do it every year. And there's plenty of people around this area, and I think you and I have had this conversation ad nauseum that are not in the Curbstone coaches that should be in the Curbstone coaches. So there is a ton of people that should be in the Hall of Fame, certainly. And then if people continue to ask me this question, I feel like we cover this every single month. But if someone wants to become a member of the Curbstone coaches, it's not just for coaches.
No, and that's one of the we've actually thought about changing our name, but it's been there for so long we don't want to do that. But you don't have to be a coach, and all you need to do is pay a $25 a year fee, which is nothing.
It's incredible.
And come to luncheons. We have luncheons every Monday at Avion on the Water, starting next Monday, except for Christmas and New Year's. And we have a multitude of great guest speakers that come every week. I'll go over the first 4 or 5 here that we have coming, but you just show up and participate. There's a lot of the people I've talked to that have joined our organization say as much as they love the speakers and coming to the Hall of Fame banquet, just the sitting around and having the buffet lunch and BSing with people about sports is worth its weight in gold, because you get to do something that you love to do, which is talk sports. And it's a great organization. I know that we meet on Mondays at noon, so if someone has a intense work schedule, might not be able to be there. But there's enough retired people around here that should be coming and joining us.
And there's a lunch buffet that it's available to everybody. You don't have to feel obligated, but it's one that you don't want to miss for certain.
Right. It's Avion does a great job. It's $18 for your buffet luncheon, and it's all you can eat, so you're able to go back and get more. And I think I've told you before, when we have our luncheons, I don't have to eat the rest of the day, because I put enough away during the lunch to make it. That's it for the day.
So who is going to be the first few? I know you guys have some unbelievable headlining talent coming in. You mentioned the deans of high school football coming in next week. Who else do we have to look forward to?
Well, always at the beginning of the year, we're YSU heavy.
Sure.
We want to get football covered. In October, we want to get the basketball coaches in, because they start their practices at around that time, and the games start. I think November 4th there's a doubleheader down there for basketball. So basketball's right around the corner too. But as I mentioned, we have the high school football coaches, Spate, Williams, and Guerrero, coming next Monday the 9th. On September 16th, Ron Strollo, the YSU AD, will be there. On September 23rd, Bob Hannon is coming in. Bob is, of course, aside from being president of the United Way, he's the play-by-play voice of YSU football. He'll talk YSU football. On September 30th, we have YSU soccer coach Brian Schrum, and I've gotten to know Brian pretty well over the years, last few years. He has taken a program that was dead in the water, and they have a really good soccer program going down at YSU now. And he's a very engaging guy, so he's worth coming to see. And then on October 7th, we have the new YSU volleyball coach, Riley Jarrett, who just got her first win the other day, and she seems like she's quite a personable young lady. So, and then we're working on the rest of October, but it'll include the YSU basketball coaches. We'll have that for you the next time we talk.
Had a chance to talk to Melissa Jackson for the first time. She is going to take this program places, my friend.
Melissa Jackson is an intense, hardworking, confident young lady, and we had the women's basketball golf outing that I know you participate in, and thanks to YSN for sponsoring part of that. But she's ready to roll. Now, she did say to us, she goes, we have 8 freshmen and 3 transfer, whatever the numbers are. They lost a lot of players from last year. So she says, be patient with me, because the Horizon League women's basketball is pretty good. But she knows that the support that YSU women's basketball gets in this area is second only to Green Bay in the Horizon League, and she loves that. That she had options to go other places. She was an assistant at Cleveland State last year.
Chose here.
And chose to come here because of that support. And she's going to get this program at the top. It may not be this year, but it'll be down the road soon.
That's exciting stuff. I know there was some tragedy over the summer, Bob, that we lost some people we care about deeply. Would you care to kind of dive into that
Sure,
and pay homage?
That's the one thing, we have, again, mostly, retired people in our organization. And we lost 3 people this summer that have passed away, including former president of the organization, Dr. Larry Glass, a well-known official in the area, and then Roger Krebs and Lou DeMarinis, who were both on our board of directors, passed away this summer. So God bless them and their families, and keep them their families in your prayers when you get a chance.
Well, we certainly, double down on that. I mean, we want to make sure that we remember these people that have made this area what it is in sports, certainly the Curbstone coaches, and something worth passing on. So if you'd like to become a member of the Curbstone coaches, again, do exactly what Bob said, $25 membership fee, pay it, come to the Monday meetings, and certainly they would love to have you as well. You don't have to be a coach. That's the biggest thing.
You don't have to be a coach, and you don't have to come to every luncheon either. If you can make one a month, do it. And you touched on this earlier. I get asked all the time, why isn't Joe Blow in the Hall of Fame? Well, somebody has to nominate them.
Yep.
We don't just go out and pick people. Somebody has to nominate them, and that's another reason to join. You got someone you think should be in the Hall of Fame, join, nominate them, and then there's a very good chance they'll get in.
I love it. Anything else?
I think that's about it. I'm looking forward to our schedule starting next week. Looking forward to all the people coming in and all the speakers we have, and let's get some good crowds in there. And like I said, we're ready to go.
Can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Camardo with Catching the Curb right here on YSN. Bob, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
What's going on, everybody? It is player profile time, McDonald style. We're going to talk to some McDonald Blue Devils, and one that certainly I've had my eye on for a couple of years now entering his junior year at McDonald, and a guy that can do a little bit of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Zajac. What's up, Drew? How are you, buddy?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm living the dream. You popped on here before we started this, and you made me nervous. You are known because you have the devilishly good looks like Thor from the Avengers, but you scare me because it didn't look like you got a haircut, man. So, talk to me. Let's start there. The hair. It is what you're known for. Why is it so important to you? You said you'd never cut it. Why is that?
I feel like people just know me by it, really. I feel like, just a lot of people know me by it. I like it. To me, it's really not that big of a deal to deal with, but, I take good care of it. At least I'd hope so. I think so. But,
is there a lot of product that goes into that? I mean, is there a lot of time?
DJ, I use absolutely nothing in my hair.
Me either, buddy. Me either.
I use nothing.
I love it. This is a special year. Your junior year, you've been a standout. Excuse me, for as long as I can remember, on YSN, inside the locker room, at McDonald, in the community. Your parents, obviously, big time in the community. For you, why is it so special as to call McDonald home?
My dad's family. They're all from here. They're all from McDonald. So, for me to go there and continue on the Zajac legacy, I guess you could say it's a big deal. So.
Have things slowed down for you? I mean, you've been playing varsity since your freshman year, right? So it's like drinking water out of a fire hose, and then all of a sudden you're in your junior year. This is where you get noticed a lot, as I'm sure you know. And there's not all the pressure on it because it's not your senior year, but have things slowed down for you from year to year, and especially moving in a couple weeks into your senior football season?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They definitely have slowed down a whole lot. Freshman year, it was coming at me way too fast. And then, then at the end of the year, it started to slow down more. And then sophomore year, it slowed down even more. And then now it's just I'm playing my own game. So it's really nice.
I'm sure Coach Williams is super excited to have a guy like you that he could put anywhere, do anything. A super athlete for all intents and purposes. What's your favorite part of being able to do a little bit of everything?
Really, just staying on the field. I love sports. I love football. So, just being able to stay on the field, it's a big thing to me. And I love, just playing. I've always been playing football. I love every single second of it. So definitely it's awesome because I could just stay on the field.
You're a dual threat when you have the ball in your hands, especially with quarterback. You can run, you can throw, you can do a little bit of everything, as we already alluded to. Um, for you, is there a favorite part of what you do, and why is that?
Well, thankfully, Coach Williams, he switched me over to running back this year. So
There we go.
it's awesome. I love running the ball. It's something that I've loved to do. Ever since I was young, I've always just had like this niche just to run through people's faces. So it's always just a big thing for me, and I love doing it. So, and
Run
obviously
through
me being bigger. So
run through people's faces. I like
yeah.
that one. Are there still plays in the playbook for you though to let loose if you have to?
We actually last game against Columbiana, there was a play that it what I was supposed to throw the ball, but they ran Casey Miller out in like a 3 route, so like an out, and I was supposed to roll out. Kyle pitched it to me, and I was supposed to throw it to Casey or Jordy. But the play didn't work out like that, so I went across the field again, pitched it to Kyle, and then Kyle threw it to Casey. It was like a circus play, but it worked. So
A little hucky
there,
chuck at football.
yeah, playground football, really.
I love it. Have you found a leadership position on this team? It feels like there's a lot of eyes looking at you, not only in the stands but on that team. What leadership position have you found yourself, into, and what role does that come with it?
I think really just how I go, they go. I think if you come out and you lay the first hit, that it's a big starter for the team. So I think honestly, going out there and get that first big hit, it really gets the team going. So
Are there pressures? I mean, if you're sitting there as a junior, does it come with pressure? Do you feel yourself putting some weight on your own shoulders, or the community? I mean, where does that pressure come from?
there's a little bit of pressure, but I don't really like to think of it as like that. I think of it more as like I'm blessed to be in this position, make the most of it. Put a show on for everyone. So I think of it more as that type of way, not more of, I've got all this pressure on me. I don't want to crack. I don't want to buckle. I mean, I don't want to crack or buckle, but I don't like to think of it as like that. I like to think just go out there, have fun with all my friends, and perform to the best of my ability.
Drew, you're a kid. I shouldn't say kid. You're a growing man that has had to deal with adversity in the classroom. You've dealt with adversity, in your life in general. I know your mom hit very close to home. One conversation we had with ADHD and some of the things that you've had to go through, and kind of obstacles you've had to jump over. For those who are battling with that, and it's not something that's an open topic to this day, what advice would you give people for that, and how to kind of use it to your benefit?
I feel like for me, I think it's a lot better because it gives me more energy, I guess you could say, instead of being like super flat. But I mean, I use it to the best of my ability. I think honestly for me, it's a blessing to be able to have it. Honestly, other people think of it as a curse, but to me, I think I use it as more of a blessing. I feel like I'm able to, obsess over things more and really put my mind to things and go out and get it. So I think it's a great thing for me.
For those youngsters that are out there watching you, what advice would you give them? I mean, if they're coming up to you for autographs after the game, which I'm sure they either have or soon will, what advice, and what does it feel like to have that kind of happen to you?
Again, it's a blessing to have. I've been put in this position to where, a lot of the younger kids, they look up to me, and whenever people ask me like what to do or like how to be in this position, I say like just always work your tail off. Even when people aren't watching, that's when the real work comes in, and doing stuff that people don't see. It's a massive thing. Late nights, working out hard. Just certain things like that. It makes the world's difference.
For you, when you were in their shoes, those youngsters, you're looking at the field, and watching basketball, football. Were there any McDonald Blue Devils that stood out to you that you wanted to be in their shoes one day?
I hate to say this. I hate to say this because he's one of our coaches, but watching Josh Selly, he I had my eye on him. I really looked up to him. Dominic Shadle, he's another big one. And then on the basketball side, obviously Zach Brazil, Jake Portalese, guys like that. And then even my neighbor, like my 8th grade year, it hit me. Matthias Tayala. I just look up to him and everything that he did. I just want to do the same, but even better. So it's always a competition, I think.
Were there any guys that saw you come in freshman year and kind of put you under their wing and said, this is how we do things here at McDonald?
Greg Constantino, he did. We were really close, and he put me under his wing, and Danny Gray too. Danny Gray and Kyle Crown, they were big staples in my life. I guess you could say my freshman year. Really just taking me under their wing and showing me how to do certain things. It was great to have them.
Now, I know you're just a junior, but are there guys, freshmen or 8th graders that you've got your eye on that you want to pass the torch on to?
Josh Krumpak, without a doubt. I want to pass the torch on to Josh Krumpak, Carter Coma, Caden Davis, just all the young guys, Tyler Nalbach, Quinn Schmidt. A lot of those younger guys, they have a lot of, they have a bright future ahead of them, and I want to be able to pass that on to them.
What will be the first thing you tell them? What's the golden rule in McDonald?
Work hard and be selfless.
I love it. Short and sweet, baby. I love it. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. Speaking of working hard and being selfless, I know that your family very special to you, very important to you. In your own words, what do they mean to you and why?
They're literally my everything. They're my rock. They're always there to support me. I remember my freshman year coming home at times and just wanting to quit literally everything. I felt like there was way too much pressure on me, and to be able to come home and lean on them, it was unspeakable. I loved every single second of it. I love them to death. I'll do anything for them. They're my rock. I'll do anything for them just to see them smile. So definitely, I'm very blessed to have them.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. Last question for you. There's a lot of comps out there, comparisons to a high school and a pro player, a high school and a college player. If you were to compare yourself to any high school, or excuse me, any college or pro player, who would it be and why?
I never really looked at it like this. You might have stumped me with this one, DJ. I don't
I'm
really
sorry,
know.
man. Well, the
Uh,
hair, it's gotta be Sunshine down in Jacksonville for sure. But
yeah,
other than
without a
that,
doubt. Now that I'm not a quarterback, though, I don't know. I get a lot of comparisons. AJ Hawk, when he used to be in college at Ohio State, I used to get that comparison a lot. I don't know. Comparison wise, I feel like I can go like more TJ Watt on like defense because I'm obviously like big, but like I'm a lot more quick and more agile. You know what I mean? I guess you could
speed,
say
baby.
that. Yeah.
Speed. First off, AJ Hawk and TJ Watt, those are pretty good comps for you, buddy.
Yeah.
And it just tells me that you love hitting people. So running
Yeah.
through people's faces, I think that was the term you used.
Yeah, I mean that in a more humble way, but
Yeah, yeah,
I like to I put it in the back of my brain like that. Like if you just
sure.
hit someone, they're just not gonna like really want it. So
Yeah, because when you talk about running through people's faces, there's a lot of humility in that
yeah,
statement. Drew,
yeah.
I
I mean it
appreciate
in
you,
a
buddy.
humble way. I mean it in a humble way, but
I know, buddy. It was awesome. Great terminology. Great sitting down with you. Can't wait to do it again
mhm.
for hoops. Best of luck this season for you and the Blue Devils, and we will certainly see you around, my friend.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, DJ.
You got it. It is the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark presented by Joe Dickey Electric, and they are everything electrical, and you can visit them today on the web at dickeyelectric.com. I have to tell you how excited I am, how excited I was last night to finally have 2 hours, a window of 2 hours where I could sit down and finally watch Sign Stealer. And if you're not familiar with what this is the Connor Stallions documentary on Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to see this. And I've got a little bit of a hot take on this. I'm not an Ohio State fan necessarily. I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm just kind of a free agent that can put appreciation to sports at the college level. I'm a Westminster fan. I'm a YSU fan. Those are the two that I love more than anything because of those are the two nearest and dearest to my heart. However, that being said, there's a lot of chatter, just a lot of chatter on both sides of the coin when it comes to Connor Stallions and sign stealing. as a catcher, as someone who had his signs stolen constantly and always had at second base trying to steal the signs of the other catcher in high school baseball and college baseball. I do not see any problem with this because the biggest thing that I learned last night is that stealing signs itself is not illegal. You can go and watch video. Like if you're watching YSN and you can actually decipher the signs, it's perfectly legal in the college level, at the high school level. Advanced sign stealing is essentially taking your phone to a game and just locking onto that sign line and then taking it, transmitting it, sending it, wherever to whoever. That's advanced sign stealing. That is illegal. I am really interested at how much is happening at the college level, but more so if it's happening at the college level, we know what's happening at the high school level. I would be really intrigued and really interested to know how many sign stealers we have amongst us at the high school level, whether it be baseball, football, volleyball. You see volleyball now, they do the thing like behind their back, right? I am so locked into this right now. Borderline obsessed. I've been looking it up all day. Just very interested. People are talking about cheating. It's not cheating if it's allowed in the rule book. I mean, it says right there that you can do this. It's not cheating. Sign stealing, the Astros stuff, I was never really against per se. They just figured it out. They're giving themselves advantages. It's the same thing. I mean, what's worse, sign stealing or steroids? Because I'm sure that the conversation could be had for both. That's a topic for another day. But you have to go and watch Sign Stealer on Netflix, the story of Connor Stallions, the documentary. LeBron James, Mav Carter put it together. It's an incredible. Great watch. You need to watch it. Watch it twice. Watch it 3 times because you're going to find something that you didn't see the time before. That is going to do it for our show. Thanks to all our guests today. Jason Leonard from Westminster, Bob Camardo from the Curbstone Coaches, and Nick Berardino from Canfield, and Drew Zajac from McDonald. Thank you guys for making this show possible today. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. I saw Liz Sherry out there. Hi, Liz. How you doing? And thanks for all your support throughout everything across the board on YSN. We've got games tonight. We got shows tonight. We got content tonight, tomorrow, the rest of the week. Do not miss a beat. Head over to ysnlive.com for everything. Stats, scores, of course, our streams, highlights, everything from pillar to post. We got you covered right here on the network. Until tomorrow, we'll see you. YSN thanks you for watching this presentation